There we go.
Hello and welcome to Real People, Real Stories. Stories just from real people, just like you and me. We are sharing information that has really been helpful for us in our health and wellness journey just to feel better. And we're talking to people who've also had success in using the ASEA redox signaling molecules. Now, I'm Kathleen Oliveri, and I'm coming to you from Mississippi. And I'm so glad that you are joining us to learn more about this wonderful technology. If you're new to redox molecules, let me tell you something. Redox molecules are native to our bodies, and the ASEA redox signaling molecules that you can take, they really do help our cells. The redox signaling molecules that helps our cells to detect, repair, and replace bad cells, and to also help good cells. And we know that we have healthy cells, we have healthy organs, we have healthy organs, we have a healthy body. And that's what we want, is a healthy body. Whatever that means to you, that's what we want for you to feel good, look good, and have a longer, happier life. Now, let me also tell you that as part of this seminar that you're watching, we are going to be talking about different types of, how this has helped people. But please keep in mind that we are not telling you that these products prevent, diagnose, treat, or cure any type of medical disease. The stories you are going to hear are from personal experiences. And we are so glad to introduce you tonight to our guest, Barbara Stolz. We're so glad to have you here. But first, I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Barbie Phillips. She is the co-host for this evening, and she will introduce herself and then also introduce our guest.
All right. Thank you, Kathleen. And welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Barbie Phillips. I am a chiropractic physician for people and animals and have been in business for 23 years serving people and their fur babies. So my journey with ASEA started 4 years ago, and I'm super excited to introduce our guest to you tonight, Barbara Stolz. And without any further ado, Barbara, I'm going to have you share with us a little bit about your background and how you were introduced to ASEA and how your life has changed before and after ASEA.
Well, I would be glad to do that. And I'm really honored that you invited me to share my story tonight. Thank you both. I got introduced to this industry over 25 years ago by my baby sister. And over the years, I've been in a couple different companies, but I have never, ever, ever found one as exciting as what we have here with ASEA. A friend actually left a note on my door back in April of 2016, and the note said, "Barbara, come to my house Thursday night. Bring some friends. I have something important to share with you. Love, Jarin. And P.S. I'll have food." Well, I knew Jarin was a really good cook, and so I decided to show up that night with a couple friends. And that night changed my life forever. And we have somebody on that isn't muted, by the way, Barbie. Um, and what I got a chance to see was first of all, Jerry White was the guest speaker, and he flew in all the way from Spokane, Washington to Indianapolis, Indiana. And we got a chance to hear a lot about the science. But what really touched my heart was the Genesis video. So if you haven't seen the ASEA Genesis video, I'd highly, highly recommend you watch that. It just touched my heart. And I started using the molecules. And my first big testimony was about a year later. I had a major female challenge. And I was told that after surgery, I was going to be on bed rest for about 4 to 6 weeks. And I elected to take my products with me to the hospital. And my surgery was on a Thursday morning. And I decided not to take any pain meds afterwards. I just used the redox. And that evening, I was actually able to walk the corridor at the hospital. The next day, even though my pain level was high, I was able to walk the corridor and up and down a half a flight of steps. And then that Saturday, I was able to go home. And a week later, that following Sunday was Mother's Day, and I woke up pain free. So, in total, that was only 10 days of challenge before I was pain free. And I think that's pretty remarkable, seeing that they told me I was going to be on bed rest for 4 to 6 weeks. Um, my next challenge happened a couple years later, and I had this cell dividing challenge on my left cheek. And what was interesting about that was I got kind of excited because I had these really, really cool products that were going to help me get rid of that really, really quick. Well, for about 2 years, I still had this challenge on my left cheek. And so my little mini me was like, these products don't work. These products don't work. These products don't work. But intuitively, I knew that they were doing something. And there was too much science, too many other testimonies, so that I couldn't just walk away. And finally, I asked Jerry White, I said, Jerry, why isn't this going away? And he said, Barb, these products go to the area that needs it the most. Well, my family has a family history genetically of a couple other major, major challenges. And I'm the oldest child, and some of my siblings had already had those challenges. But fortunately for me, I never developed any of those challenges. I just had this mere flesh wound on my face. So I decided finally to go ahead and get this flesh wound off my face. And I went in and got what's called Mohs surgery, MOHS. And they cut a perimeter hole larger than a silver dollar, went 3 layers deep, and sutured me up. And Barbie, you want to show the picture? I looked like the bride of Frankenstein for about 4 months. It was crazy. But what was really interesting to me was I only had 1 day of pain after this surgery. So I don't know if people have seen this before, but I tend to refer to myself as the face of ASEA. And I'm pretty excited by the results. Like I said, only 1 day of pain and no cosmetic surgery afterwards. And I believe this testimony has helped tens of thousands of people worldwide. So I'm grateful to be able to be the one to share that with you. And I was never afraid. I think most women, especially after that second picture there, most women probably would have stayed indoors for a couple months, but I didn't care. I knew that these molecules were going to take care of me, and they certainly did. And what's funny is when people meet me today, they don't even notice the scar until I point it out. You can take it down, Barbie. Thank you for sharing. Have
Uh,
you have you met me in person, Barbie?
I don't think I
forget.
have. I
Oh,
don't.
okay.
Yeah.
Next event. But
May
that's
I
what.
ask you what your process was of what products you used? I saw the picture there, but can you take us through the process of what you did?
Sure. A lot of people ask me how much I was drinking, and to be honest with you, I probably conservatively drank about 8 ounces a day during that time period. But I think the trick or the key to this was after the surgery, the surgeon, and I'm awake during this whole surgery, which was very interesting. I was taking pictures myself, it's like every layer, And after surgery, the doctor's like, Barb, you have to promise me that you're going to put Vaseline on your sutures until they come out. And I looked at him, and of course I was talking redox the whole time. I said, Doc, why would I put a petroleum-based product on my face when I have something natural that's going to help with the recovery of this? And so I did not listen to him whatsoever. I used the intensive serum on my scar, and then I used a regular Renew 28 for my bruising. I mean, my bruising was so intense. I mean, I had different colors every day. My wardrobe had to be very flexible because I even had a yellow day, and I'm not a yellow person. Um, but that was, that was fun just to, just to get through that. And what was interesting was when I did go back for a checkup, I think it was the day I got my sutures out. A lot of people were just so amazed at how well it had already looked by that point. But the doctor, all he did was kind of, I was trying to say, hey, a lot of this is because of this redox. And he just kind of ignored me. But when everybody left the room, the intern who was from Sweden stepped back in and got my card. He knew what he knew, what he knew. So that was pretty exciting.
Wow. Wow. And so how many times a day would you say that you applied the intense serum and renew?
I wouldn't even guess, probably at least 3 or 4 times a day.
Okay. So repeated it
But
quite often.
yeah, repeated it quite often, and like I said, I only had 1 day of pain. That's
That
what was remarkable to me.
that is
And
amazing.
Doctor Philippe from Canada, he's like one of the number 1 trauma doctors in the world, and he's part of my downline, and he was just like, That's not something that normally happens, Barb, you really, accomplished a lot with that."
Wow. And you said you got introduced to the redox molecules in 2016. Is that what you
Yes,
said? Okay.
yes.
So you've been taking those all this time. Have you noticed other things with your lifestyle or health
Oh,
over that time?
absolutely. A lot of times I will ask people to guess my age, and if they do within 3 years, I'll give them a free sample tube of the gel. And I don't give many sample tubes of the gel away because I'm 62 years old, and most people guess I'm in my mid to late 40s. And I run circles around most people my age that I know of. And I just, my outlook on life is so much more positive because of people like you and other people that I get to hang around, because being around positive motivated people sure is a lot more fun than being working with negative people. So
Agree.
I really enjoy our environment.
So let's talk just a little bit about that. I always call it our ASEA family. And so
Mhm.
can you share some of your experience about what it's been like to be part of the ASEA family and even have a business with ASEA?
Absolutely. Well, what's interesting to me about ASEA, like I said, I've been in the industry for 25 years. This is the first company I've noticed that crossline helps each other tremendously. And I just find that so valuable. And I mean, I go out of my way to help other people because I know it's going to come back tenfold. And it's just, and the leadership in this company is just top notch. And they're, even though they're crossline, they all help each other. They're all sharing and doing and helping one another. I'm pretty notorious for being a road warrior with the SIA, and it's not unusual to see me down at the Texas events, even though it's a 15-hour hike. Um, and I've gone, when I started hosting my own Super Saturdays, I became a student of those. And I went to 3 Super Saturdays, one in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, followed by Texas, followed by Orlando. Maybe it wasn't in that order, but it's like I knew that I needed to go to each of these events. And instead of just being a student of the information, I needed to be a student of how they're doing it.
Oh,
And so I was taking diligent notes and figuring out what I liked, what I didn't like, and just trying to make the best we could. And so now we host quarterly Midwest events here in Indianapolis. So that's a lot of fun.
are you full-time ASEA right now?
I've always been full-time ASEA in my mind, but I'm not there in my pocketbook yet, but I'm
Gotcha.
working toward that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not a social media person yet, but I have been playing with the new app and I really, really like it, but I'm still scared of it. So, I'm still old school. I still have my notebook and pen and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
I know there's money on the other end if I do it the other way, but it's a learning curve for a lot of people.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we also, I would like to ask you, ASEA does have other products too, other than, of course, what you've used. They do have a skincare line. They have a clay mask, some cell performance products, and then also our nutrition line. Are you utilizing any of those, and what have you noticed with them?
Um, Specifically, I use this on the Via line. I use the Source every morning. I use the Biome every night faithfully, and the other two intermittently. The skincare, I am pretty faithful with that once a day, and then the mask about 3 times a week.
Wow.
Um, I've noticed since I've been using the mask regularly, my face feels so soft. I just
Yeah,
love it. And my pores are getting smaller, so that's really fun. And I feel like I'm looking younger. So I'm just kind of afraid that the scar is going to go totally away, and then I won't have proof that it was funny because recently I recruited a restaurant manager, and only because she had bad back pain and she was going out of town, and budget wise she really didn't have the money for a full tube of gel. She was going out of town for a funeral and just was pretty tight. And I said, well, I am going to swing by and at least get you a sample tube and share some information. So I was sharing information, and she was off to my right side and my scars on the left. And we were sitting in my back seat of my car, sharing information, sharing information. And then the very last piece was the picture that you showed. And I gave her that, and she was reading the captions and everything. And then I looked at her. I said, that's me. And she's like, get out of here. And she threw the money at me for a big tube. And that was such a blessing because for her, her back pain was so bad. And for her to be able to go away for the weekend and get such great results, she was on cloud nine. Plus, she was not supposed to be back in town till that following Monday, and our event was going to be on Sunday. We had a super Sunday event, and she went ahead because of her results. She came back early, and she was doing squats in front of us at the training. So, that's how quickly we can impact people's lives, and I just love it.
that's so great. Yeah, it is one thing about this journey is there's so many people that get help, and sometimes we're hopeless, and it makes it all worthwhile, even if you change one life. So that is so wonderful to hear your journey, and we appreciate you sharing it. I would like to take a few minutes to open it up for questions for any of our participants. If they have them, you can go ahead and unmute and turn your video on if you would like to ask Barbara a question. Any takers?
Okay. I will tell you out of the gate when I first started using these products, the Redox helped me with mental clarity, more energy, better sleep, and lower back pain. So
Wow.
those four things pretty much within the first week.
Now that's a testimony for sure. That's amazing. Wow. All
We got a
right.
quiet group
We
tonight.
do have a quiet group. Kathleen, do you have any thoughts before I wrap it up here?
Barbara, I really appreciate you. Oh, Marita has a question. I'll let her go.
Okay. If you want to unmute Marita. There you go.
Barbara, do you have a lot of in-home workshops that you do? Do you meet a lot of people one-on-one? How have you been
Um,
able to grow your business?
That's a very interesting question. Well, when I first started in network marketing, my very first event was a huge event at the MGM Grand Hotel. So I'm tainted toward big events. I mean, that's just mentally, that's how, and I know these smaller events help people, but I've never been real comfortable hosting people in my house. But we do host once a month. We host at a wellness center, and then they just opened a massage center, so we're going to be hosting there also. And we've hosted at libraries. Um, my side gig is that I also do Lyft, which is like Uber. And so I have captive audiences almost every day, and I'm able to pique their interest usually, and and then I'll do one-on-ones or follow up with texting or calling or whatever. And then we also do like during the summertime there were like fest or what are they called, farmers markets and stuff like that that we would set up a tent for and get lots of names there. So right now I'm in my I I've got to do better at follow up because there's too many people that I've piqued their interest, and I've I'm usually pretty good at sending out the first step, but not as far as closing them. So I'm a silver with the company, and my goal is to get at least 4 or 5 of my associates with me on the trip to Puerto Rico this year.
That'd be great. Well, you should be very proud of that. That's a big accomplishment to be a silver with the company. So great job. And I see your posts on Facebook all the time about your tables and the things you're setting up at, and you're such an inspiration. So
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Kathleen, did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to thank you for sharing the photo. I mean, a picture is definitely worth 1,000 words. So thank you for sharing that and telling us about it.
Oh, you're welcome. And that photo is available at the new Real Redox Results site. So you feel free to share that and copy and paste if you want. So thank you for inviting me tonight, and we'll see you on the next call.
yes, we will let everyone know that this call is recorded, and it will be replayed on my personal Facebook page under Barbie Phillips and the Creation Chiropractic Facebook page. It is also will be posted at the Creation Chiropractic YouTube channel. And until next time, we just want to invite everyone to join us again in 2 weeks, which will be November 28th on Tuesday at 6:30 Central. And we will be interviewing another guest and see how redox molecules have changed their life. Until
Barbie,
then, yes.
Barbie, can I invite in a couple minutes? Leland Duct is going to be on Nurse Talk tonight, and it's at redoxnursetalk.com. And that's what Cindy and Doria host tonight in a few minutes.
Wonderful. Yes, we want everyone to join us there. All right, everyone. Well, thanks again so much.
Thank
And
you.
we appreciate you, Barbara. We'll see everyone in a couple weeks. Have a great
All
night.
right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.